Good evening, Kosmos Church. Welcome to New Members Orientation Day 4. Today is the 27th day of June 2019. What's this? Emergency Management Plan, classroom registration, more emergency management plan. What are you doing? Classroom tests. Okay. All this should be in here. We don't need the emergency management plan anymore. So today we're going to talk a lot, and I think to some length, about church office operations. So the church office is for your convenience. That's what it's there for. Good evening. Oh, hi, Griffin. How are you? So the church office is there for your convenience. So if that being said, anytime you need to do a help session, with the help sessions, what you could do this year, you will be able to schedule them via through either the emergency department or through the administration. So if you go on either the administration or the emergency department, you will be able to schedule help sessions. So what is a help session? So a help session is designed for if you are falling behind in the class. See, this camera is a little too high. There we go. So let's talk in great length about these help sessions. So it states here in Biosian law, the No Student Left Behind Act. So students are students are parishioners in Kósmos Church that are over the age of 15. And pupils are parishioners in Kósmos Church that are 15 and under. So it's a difference. So you have pupils who are 15 and under, students who are 16 and up. So no students nor pupil, nobody's left behind. And it doesn't matter how old you are, you never stop being a student. So you're still students when you're in the Sunday service, no matter what. Everybody has classes that they go to. Everybody has journaling that they need to do. Everybody has paperwork that they have to figure out. Everybody has documentations that they have to do. Everybody has something that they need to do as a Biosian and as a congregant of the church. And the reason why is we need to strengthen the hearts through the word of God and the mind and the spirit and the soul. So, which brings me to my next point. The church office is not just there for educational purposes, because that's the Department of Education. Let's talk a little bit about discipline. I'm not going to stay on it too long because I'm pretty sure I near ranted about discipline just the other day, because believe it or not, discipline is kind of one of my favorite topics to discuss. If you've known me long enough, you'll know I love to discuss discipline. So discipline is an important thing to have in the church because a church is, in fact, a place of order. And I can't say it clear enough. When there is disorder in the church, order and disorder cannot exist in the same place. So it's either you have God or you have the devil. All forms of disorder is the devil. All forms of order is God. So you can't have both. They both can't be in the same room. So therefore, since this is the house of God, we are not kicking God out of his own house. So what can we do to make sure we don't kick God out of his own house? Well, we can teach the word of God in a manner where it's applied to the lives of the people that enter the church. So let's take a look at an example at this. So in our syllabus, and all departments have the same end goal. Every one of them have a similar end goal. I'm just going to use the, it's weird, there's none for the adults. Yes, there is. Oh, it was put in wrong, that's why. So here's the young adults. So why was this was put in incorrectly. So they're all there, they were just put in backwards. So let's go. I don't know what's wrong with this thermostat, but what did I say in yesterday's orientation? This church is full of men, so don't touch the thermostat. Men do not like it when you touch the thermostat. So, because it's hot in here. Yeah. So let's take a look at some of these measurable learning objectives. So measurable learning objectives is after God's Book of Life objectives. So God's Book of Life outcomes, now objectives, are simplified standards that are designed for people who are not fully Christian or who are not Christian at all, which is God's Book of Life is just that. Measurable learning objectives has a few. Knows the technical terms that play an important role in the critical discussion of the Old and New Testaments. So that means you need to understand what is being taught. What are you teaching? What is being taught? You need to know. Thinks critically while interacting with various interpretations, understanding the form, function, meaning of biblical text, as well as with some historical critical theories regarding those texts. So you have to be able to interpret and analyze. Not only do you need to understand the Bible, you have to be able to analyze the Bible. Appreciates the issues and problems involved within the modern critical study of a particular book in the Bible. So how does the Bible apply to today's life? How does rules that worked back then work now? You see, here's one law in the Bible, and I'm going to show it to you. Here's one law. It's right here, and I think it's in marital law. Let me see. I have all the laws in the Bible up here because this is the book of law. Let me see. No, that's no. It makes more sense if I show you where it is in the Bible. Either way, you could look. You have phones. Google it. Google it. There's a law in the Bible that says if a man rapes a woman, the woman is supposed to keep the child. Now, to me, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever. I'm not a woman. I don't know what all of that is. So I have no say or opinion in this. But empathy wise, that's the most ridiculous thing straight up I've ever heard. I'm like, really? Because the Bible is saying if a man rapes a woman, the woman is supposed to keep the child. Now, that's as far as I can go because as a man, I don't know what that is. I don't know what any of that is. So now let me tell you what women would have to say about that commandment. So now every time the woman, here's what women tell me. So that every time she looks at the child, she's reminded of the event. So now that's what they have to say. All I have to say is it doesn't make sense. That's all I can say because looking at it from the outside, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. What if the person who was raped was 11, got pregnant, can't have kids, not supposed to have kids because he's too young? What if that was his case? So you see how it's very difficult in certain places to look at the Bible and say, well, how are we going to fit this into today's life? You see, and then you see the chat's running up. So you see how there's going to be discussions. So that's what we have to do this year. We have to be willing to have these discussions. You see, this is new members orientation. This is to see what the church is like. This is what the church is going to be like. We're going to have these discussions. We are. These kind of discussions will come up. It's going to be very confusing. It's not going to make sense. It is going to be out of place for the church environment at times because there are going to be things brought up that probably we're not expecting to hear when we're at church. But if we want it sorted out, we're not expecting to have to shove our hands inside of people, but how we're going to fix Well, doctors aren't expecting to have to shove their heads inside of people, but they have to fix the problem that's in there, so they have to do it. I'm not expecting to have to talk about on these uncomfortable problems that nobody wants to confront, but I have to confront it to make people understand, well, it's either that's not the way to go or God's way is the way to go. So I have to confront it. I feel just as uncomfortable as you do, but I have to confront everything. I can't run away and hide under the bed like cats do, just like you get the luxury to. See, you can hide. I can't hide. And then when you pull the sheet back, you see the cat hunched over like a bell. It's like you took a bell and then you stuck a little I don't know, you take a bell and then you stuck a little head on it.
Power off.
Cats. So now let's continue. So the next part, we are going to be discussing a lot. Appreciates issues. D. Analyze, displays an ability to analyze knowledge of a particular book of the Bible. You know, I had a Sunday school teacher. Let me get a little bit closer. This is what she did to me one time. Why do you have to analyze everything? Quit analyzing everything. That's what she said to me. Well, at BIOS, why aren't you analyzing everything? Start analyzing everything. Because guess what? If you want to make it through this 2019, 2020, you're going to have to analyze everything. Be careful. Because when you go through these doors out into that world, somebody will bake a cake and put a nail in it for you. And you'll eat the cake and bite the nail. I'm talking about a spiritual cake now. I'm not talking physically. I'm talking spiritually. That means they'll give you a Bible verse and they'll twist it. Look what they did to Adam and Eve. Look what the serpent did. Look what the serpent did. The serpent said, if you eat the tree, you're not going to die. Yeah, you're not going to die right now. You're just going to lose your relationship with God. You're just going to lose your relationship with God. That's what's going to happen. And now because of that, everybody dies. And Dr. House knows it because he always say it. Let's go down a little. So, demonstrates comprehension of task of theology and of the theological method. So we're going to talk a lot about, this is skills that we're teaching during our summer camp. So the theological method, once you learn that, we're hammering it in. Now, the Bible study method is another thing that we're going to learn too. We're going to learn the Bible study method, which there are 12 thinking maps, plus the additional 8 we have here. And every day we want to see, every class we want to use one of those thinking maps every chance we get. And we're going to have journals. So it's at some point, it's going to feel like you're in school. But trust me, it'll all be worth it when you come out smarter, when you come out more spiritually well. So let's look at E. F. Demonstrates awareness of the spectrum with thought within evangelical Christian theology. So now you have to be able to figure out how can you share this with people. Take what you, because you're not holding all this knowledge. You're not going to be greedy with it. Remember, We as BioC pastors, we're weird, we're different. Our whole entire lives are in the church. You see, our life is in the church, and what we do out there is on the side. While as for you, the congregation, your life is outside of the church, and the church is on the side. You come into the church, learn, and leave, while we go out of the church, teach, get bullied, and then run back in the church. Because we know there's no protection for us out there. So we have to come back. We have to come back real quick. Now, let's continue. Develops a biblically informed philosophy of godly living, which can provide guidance for the Christian journey. And then that's H. Let's look back at G. Articulate a biblical understanding for the foundation of Christian living. So we're going to talk about Christian living and godly living. So now this is where you start to say, well, we know the who, what, when, where, why, all this that applies to my life. Every time you hear a Bible verse, you're going to study to figure out what's happening. You're going to read essays. You're going to read study notes. You're going to read parallels. You're going to read Greek words. And you're going to know what happened before, during, and after. Now, how can I use this to change my life as a human being and become a better human being as myself? Remember, when you are taking this course, we're going to divide it up during camp. Most of the effort, and I would say 85% of the effort, is solely on you. Most of it is for you during the classes. The rest of it, 10%, is going to be to support your family. And then the other 5% is everybody else. So who are you going to use these courses on? The 30%, welcome, thank you, is for you. Hi, Wooly Will. Wooly Will, you have a reward. So, well, actually, you have 2 rewards because I still owe you one from November. So, yes, 30% is for you. That means 85% is for you. 10% is for your family and your friends. I knew it was something and friends. And the 5% is for everybody else. Yes, you do, because you brought the most subscribers in the church. You get the highest honor this church has. So you do have a reward. So come to Rewards Day on the 30th. So we're having Rewards Day. It starts around after church service. We have Rewards Day. I would like to speak to you on the messenger prior to then, though. Oh, yeah, and thank you for reusing one of my videos and getting views on it, because I'm pretty sure all those people that watch the videos learned something. If you could do that with some more of our classroom videos, that would be great. We want to get the word spread out there about our church. Okay, so with that being said, what did I say the breakup was? You is 85%, good. Friends and family, 10%. Others, 5%. Let me tell you why I put so much emphasis on you and so little on other people. Because everybody has to take the course for themselves. Thank you. When other people, what's going on out there? What's going on out there? Yeah. When other people, the reason why we want that 10% there is simply to get people learning into the course. It's a support system. The only way that 10% is going to be effective is if they are here getting their 85%. And their 5% is supposed to be from people within the church. Oh, thank you. No wonder I haven't been getting you. So with that being said, I think that's about it because, oh, that's it for that part. Let's talk about Bible. Our laws are made up 75% of our law. So 40% comes from the Old Testament. Let me see. 20% of our law is from the Old Testament. 55% of our law is from the New Testament. 10% of our law is from the Department of Justice, and 30% of our law is from the Department of Education. We don't have as many laws as we used to, because right now we only have 2,500 as opposed to 6,000. And the slipping system is our only. Oh, okay. Wait, what time is it there? Oh, yes. And did you pass your GCSEs? That's what I wanted to know. Oh, yes. And I pray that all of you, your whole school, everybody passed their GCSEs, because I know that's a hard test. Whoa, that's late. Okay, you do got to go. Okay. Well, I pray you get a good night's sleep and pass your GCSEs. Oh yeah, they really don't give you the results until August. You and all the other year 11s. Good night. You're welcome. So you see this tree here, right? We got this tree. This is going in our Bible study bay. We're going to get TV. That's a TV cart right there, the one we have here. So that's going to go in the bay. BIOS is improving at a rapid rate. So as we draw near to the end of this part of the orientation, we have a lot of new equipment. So part of that is the VideoPad video editor, which is a professional video editor. I don't even know how to use it. So if somebody could teach me, I edit the videos for the church. I don't even know how to edit the videos on that thing because it's for professionals. I don't know. I don't know how. I have no idea what I'm doing. I went and bought this. The only thing I'm getting out of it so far is to upload, and it would be a shame that I went and purchased this nice tool and now I don't even know how to use it, because I went and I bought the top of the line tool, was on sale, and I have no idea how to use it, so I can't use it because I don't know how. So I need some education in that area. Pretty much all the equipment at BIOS is top of the line, but again, I have no idea how to use some of it, so you're not seeing the full potential that you could see. So again, if I could get some education, you'll start seeing better video. We have the equipment, but it's the knowledge. I need the knowledge, or the staff with the knowledge. And that's about it. You'll see our base orientation later. So this is going to be part 1 of today's orientation. It's only 31 minutes. Part 2 will be arriving shortly. It's going to be 2 separate videos. Thank you for watching. Have a good day, and may God bless you.